Have you ever stood at the foot of a mountain and just felt small, overwhelmed by the sheer scale and ancient power of nature? For centuries, glaciers have been these silent, frozen giants, symbols of permanence and enduring strength. But what if I told you these giants are disappearing? Not over millennia, but within our own lifetimes. Today, we're going to witness this dramatic transformation, a story told not in words, but in the undeniable language of time. Let's journey first to the Alps, the heart of Europe. Look at this image of the Rhone Glacier in Switzerland from the late 1800s. It's a colossal river of ice, flowing deep into the valley, a majestic sight. Now, let's fast forward. This is the same spot, year after year. Watch as the ice river doesn't just recede, it seems to evaporate. What was once a mighty glacier is now a shrinking patch of ice, leaving behind a barren, rocky landscape and a new glacial lake where its tongue used to be. Each frame in this time lapse represents a year of warmer temperatures, a year of imbalance where melting outpaces snowfall. It's like watching a candle burn down in fast motion, except this candle is a critical source of fresh water for millions. Now let's travel across the globe to the Himalayas, often called the Third Pole, because they hold the largest ice reserves after the polar regions. The glaciers here, like the Khumbu Glacier on the way to Mount Everest, are the lifeblood for Asia's major rivers, the Ganges, the Yangtze, the Mekong. For billions of people, these glaciers are their water towers. Let's watch the time lapse from this region. See how the surface lowers? It's not just retreating from the edges, it's thinning from the top down, like an ice cube melting in a glass. You can see new ponds and lakes forming right on the glacier's surface. These are called supraglacial lakes, and while they look beautiful, they are a sinister sign. They absorb more sunlight, accelerating the melting process from within, and can even trigger catastrophic outburst floods downstream. The story here isn't just about losing ice. It's about a growing threat to water security and safety for a huge portion of the world's population. Our next stop is Greenland. Unlike mountain glaciers, Greenland is a massive ice sheet, miles thick in some places. Its scale is almost incomprehensible. If it were to melt entirely, global sea levels would rise by over 20 feet. For a long time, scientists thought such a massive ice sheet would be slow to respond to warming. They were wrong. This satellite time-lapse shows the coastline of Greenland over the last few decades. Pay close attention to the edges. That brilliant white you see is the ice. Watch the fjords, the long inlets of sea. You can see the glaciers that flow into them speeding up, calving off bigger and bigger icebergs into the ocean. It's like a conveyor belt that has been switched to high speed. Each one of those icebergs is fresh water that is now contributing directly to sea level rise, affecting coastal communities thousands of miles away. It is a powerful reminder that what happens in the remote Arctic doesn't stay in the Arctic. From the Arctic, we head all the way south to Antarctica. Here, we're looking at the Larsen B ice shelf. An ice shelf is a thick, floating platform of ice that extends from a glacier on land out over the ocean. They act like a cork in a bottle, holding back the land-based glaciers from flowing too quickly into the sea. In 2002, in a period of just over a month, the Larsen B ice shelf, an area larger than the state of Rhode Island, completely disintegrated. This time lapse is astonishing. It doesn't melt, it shatters. It collapses into a fleet of thousands of icebergs. Scientists were shocked by the speed of it. And what happened next? The glaciers that the ice shelf was holding back began to accelerate, flowing into the ocean up to 8 times faster than before. We are witnessing the destabilization of a system that has been stable for thousands of years, with profound implications for our planet's future. Let's come closer to home for many of us, to Glacier National Park in Montana, USA. The park's name itself tells you its identity. In the 1850s, it was home to around 150 glaciers. Today, there are fewer than 25. Let's look at the Grinnell Glacier, one of the park's most famous. The time-lapse photography here is heartbreaking. We can see photos taken from the same vantage point, decade after decade. You watch a magnificent, sprawling body of ice shrink into what is now barely a remnant, a ghost of its former self, sitting in a lake of its own meltwater. Park officials predict that within a decade, there may be no active glaciers left in Glacier National Park. Think about that. A place named for its glaciers will have no glaciers. It's not a computer model or a future prediction. It's a reality unfolding before our very eyes. So what is causing this? It's not a mystery. The science is clear. The burning of fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas releases greenhouse gases, primarily carbon dioxide, into the atmosphere. These gases act like a blanket, trapping heat and causing the planet's temperature to rise. This phenomenon, global warming, is the direct driver of the accelerated melting we've just witnessed. The glaciers are like the canaries in the coal mine for our planet. They are highly sensitive to changes in temperature, and their rapid decline is one of the most visible and undeniable indicators of a warming world. They don't have a political agenda. They just respond to physics. More heat means more melting. It's that simple. The consequences of this go far beyond just losing beautiful landscapes. As we've touched on, shrinking glaciers mean a direct threat to water supplies for drinking, agriculture, and hydropower in many parts of the world. The meltwater also contributes significantly to sea level rise, threatening coastal cities and ecosystems from Miami to Mumbai. Glacial melt can also destabilize mountain slopes, leading to more frequent landslides, and it disrupts ecosystems that depend on the cold meltwater. Every system is connected. The loss of these frozen reservoirs creates a domino effect that we are only beginning to fully understand. Watching these time lapses can feel overwhelming, even hopeless. It's easy to feel small and powerless in the face of such a massive global issue. But here's the crucial part. We are not powerless. The future of these glaciers and our planet is not yet written. The same human ingenuity that powered the Industrial Revolution can be harnessed to create a sustainable future. The shift to renewable energy sources like solar and wind is already happening faster than anyone predicted. Innovations in energy efficiency, sustainable agriculture, and carbon capture technology are providing us with a toolbox full of solutions. This isn't about giving up the lives we have. It's about making them smarter and more sustainable. What can you do? It starts with awareness, with understanding what's at stake, which is what we're doing right now. Talk about it. Share this video. Make climate change a part of the conversation with your friends and family. On a personal level, every small action contributes to a larger collective impact. Reducing your energy consumption, making conscious choices about what you buy, and minimizing waste all help reduce your carbon footprint. But the biggest impact comes from collective action. Support leaders and policies that prioritize climate action. Advocate for investments in green technology and infrastructure in your community. Use your voice, your vote, and your choices to demand change. We are the first generation to see the stark evidence of climate change, and we are the last generation that can do something to prevent its worst impacts. The story of the glaciers is a wake-up call. They are showing us, in the clearest terms possible, the consequences of our actions. But their story doesn't have to end in disappearance. We can choose to change the narrative. We can choose to act not out of fear, but out of a shared love for this incredible planet and a sense of responsibility to future generations, who deserve to witness its wonders, not just see them in old photographs. The time for waiting is over. The time for action is now. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey today. I know it's a heavy topic, but it's one of the most important of our time. If you found this video informative and moving, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone you know. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our future explorations into our amazing world and how we can protect it. Let's continue the conversation in the comments below. Thanks for watching.